Chocolate tuna update, aka dealing with legal issues and a narcissist update. I am so excited to share this one. Okay, I'm so sorry that was sarcasm. I'm not, because it was not a very fun time. Yay! We love that, don't we? Anywho, so teenager, and I say that for the protection of just as a whole, you know what I mean? Y'all get it. I know you're smart. You got this. So, teenager had to give over passwords and log in information of social media to the narc dad. It was not a fun time. Teenager cried, not in a spoiled brat, as the dad has said, or in a like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting my way type of teenager thing that some of y'all do. No, it was just like a defeated, I don't understand. I see how this is wrong. Why is this happening? We have no trust. And I don't trust him to have access to all of that because he's abused it in the past. So teenager just felt defeated and just, it wasn't fun. But they bounced back and they have been rocking it and just getting back to life and living, still absolutely hating that he has all that access, but it didn't end their world. But they still understand it's wrong. Funny enough, though, since he got the passwords, they haven't talked. But yet, Dad has already logged in to several of the accounts because they can see it. So that bothered me that Dad hasn't talked to the teenager, but is logging in. So I decided to Google some stuff and research some stuff because that's what I do when I'm confused on how I'm supposed to handle this, because he's the dad and blah, 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 but he's just not being a healthy human for our kids and hasn't been for a while. So I researched, and interesting enough, some of the things I came across, some of the first things I came across, aligned with how me and my friend, who is also dealing with a narcissistic mother, except this friend is an adult still dealing with issues, felt about the situation. Hopefully you can see that I was Googling, should parents read their children's private messages? This is the first thing that popped up. Interesting enough, I do agree that monitoring and all of that stuff is important with teenagers and kids. However, when the relationship is broken and has zero trust, it's probably going to end up doing what that last sentence says, that says it's going to do more harm than good. I feel this one needs no explanation, but for fun, we will go ahead and do it anyway, with my lovely accent to just spicy things up a bit. So trust. Yes. Trust. It's not there. No, it's just not there. He went through private messages and then turned around and used them years, months, time later against all of us. So, trust, respect, for being honest, it's not there. It's just not there. The age part, I completely agree with a healthy and normal relationship between father and child. But when it's dealing with a narcissistic parent and a teenager who's very aware and smart, that's when I kind of, you know what I'm saying? Communication. We're going to keep that one simple. There is none since he got the passwords. They're not talking. Again, he's logging in, but he's not talking. So there wasn't really communication, even when he went through messages before we even knew he was doing it. So there's that too. Full transparency, I may have gone through diaries or journals when my kids were like 7 and 9. Okay, I admit it. But this one just hit home for me because I love how it says, a full-on investigation without your kid's knowledge and consent probably won't end well. That's exactly what my ex-narcissist did a full-on investigation through private messages with no honesty or trust and turned it into a legal matter. A lot of the evidence that is used against me is based off of private messages. So it's just, it hurts my head sometimes. It's a blessing and a curse to have a mind like me. I say that a lot. Transparency conversations should be sufficient to keep tabs on your kid while preserving your bond. And it's so sad because what little bond there was left, it's just being damaged more and more. So I'm hoping next week that something positive will come out of all of this. We will see. Just drives me bonkers that people still can't seem to fathom why the relationship between the teenager and the dad is so bad right now. And has been. I mean, golly, that's a tough one, you know? And I'm not even going to get into it. My other videos have addressed that, hence I get it. It's not good to be sarcastic in times like this, but sometimes you've just got to preserve your sanity. That concludes our update. Thank you all for listening. This has been very helpful for me to just stick to my truth, be able to be heard, even when I'm not being heard. And right now, it's my kids that are not being heard. So I'm advocating for them. So when I feel heard, I know that they're going to feel heard. My teenager is valid for not wanting their dad to have the access they have to their social media. And honestly, my teenager shouldn't have had to go through any of that, along with other things that they shouldn't have had to go through pertaining to this legal issue. Much love to all of you for listening and being there. If you can relate to what my teenager is going through, please feel free to leave some words of affirmation or advice, anything. We're open to all of it, and we thank all of you for just listening to our story.